What's up, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Dynamite review. But before we begin this review off, there is one thing I want to talk about before we actually start the review, which I'm sure obviously everybody knows about the unfortunate news about Terry Funk passing away at the age of 79 today. To what I read, he had passed away from, I believe he had Parkinson's disease and dementia that had been going on for a few years, to what I had heard. So, that's basically what I read about today. But when you talk about Terry Funk, and listen, obviously Terry Funk was before my time, so I don't know all of his career, and I'm sure I found out even more today and whatnot. But his career spanned over 5 decades, damn near, if I'm not mistaken. And this man's been everywhere. Like the times I've watched Terry Funk was probably, from the Chainsaw Charlie and the WWE or, ECW, the original ECW, especially when he became the ECW champion. I really remember ECW One Night Stand 2006 with him and Tommy Dreamer versus Edge and Mick Foley. I definitely remember him coming out, all bloodied, all taped up with the barbed wire board and setting it on fire, hitting Mick Foley with it, knocking him into a whole bunch of other barbed wired stuff. Um, like that's one thing I definitely remember. One thing about Terry Funk was being in that match and whatnot. But like I said, Terry Funk's career has spanned it over, like I said, damn near 5 decades, going all the way back to the Funks between him and his brother Dory Funk Jr. Just from wow, how many companies? I think he's been in almost every wrestling company, if I'm not mistaken. From the NWA to WCW to ECW, I believe All Japan Pro Wrestling to the WWF to Ring of Honor to from TNA. I believe he's been in every company. There's one other time I remember him coming back to WWE. I think it was like his final appearance, but I think it was right before WrestleMania 32. And I remember him giving, Moxley, Dean Ambrose, a chainsaw to fight Brock Lesnar with when they were doing that whole hardcore match coming up. And Terry Funk walked up and gave him a chainsaw and whatnot. So I definitely remember him being in that segment. Like I said, he's been in. Well, I actually remember on one of the Dark Side of the Ring episodes, not that long. I think it was about a year ago, and I think it was something about FMW and the exploding ring match against Onita. So that's another thing I do remember out of him too. But like I said, the guy's been in movies from Roadhouse. That's probably the movie I most have seen him in that movie was Roadhouse. So that's one thing I definitely know. But like I said, you could just like I said, the guy's been a world champion, several companies, just from, mm, excuse me, just going in some of his feuds from Mick Foley, obviously, Cactus Jack, like I said, from Exploding Rings to ECW to a branding iron match almost, to Onita to Ric Flair, especially in WCW. Like I said, Terry Funk has been like I said, he's been everywhere, okay? Damn near, and the guy just was just that great of a badass and everything. And mostly to what I've heard today, like not one person has really had anything bad to say about Terry Funk. All right, like no one. Mostly everyone has said this man is just an overall badass, the Funker himself. Just mostly positive stuff. So like I said, some things I do know, but I can't name everything. I'm just going by what I know, what I do remember out of him. But I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty shocked to hear about you know, him passing away today. I do know it was his birthday, like I believe literally about a month ago, if I'm not mistaken, or was it the end of June, if true. And I know I saw some recent photos, and listen, he really didn't look the same in a way. Like he was still Terry Funk, but a little bit more grayer and whatnot. I thought he was kind of a different person, but I knew there were reports about him being sick apparently, so I do know about that. But like I said, 79 man, he had definitely one hell of a life. I could say that, and it amazed me that the guy was still really going almost until this point. Like he was still wrestling. I think he had stopped like a few years ago, but even like in his 70s, the guy was just still going out there and just doing all these crazy matches, hardcore or whatever. I didn't know what promotion it was half the time, but Terry Funk was still out there doing stuff, whether it be interviews or just still wrestling. I was surprised. Like, you say what you want, but dude was a crazy old son of a bitch. Like, that's one guy that was just tough as nails. All right, definitely tough as nails. Cause I was kind of, I'm like, yeah, he was still even going not that long, even not that long ago. I know he'd stopped now, but you know, dude was just still out there and matches, still kicking ass. You know, Amarillo Ranch in Texas and whatnot. Dude was definitely still out there. So like I said, man, I just want to say a few things before we actually get into the AEW Dynamite review. But that is some things I do remember out of Terry Funk. Obviously, tell me what do you think about him? Like, what are your favorite memories of Terry Funk? And damn near any company you want to name or whichever his feud you want to talk about, any of that. Because hey, it's probably things I'm missing or stuff I don't even know. There's probably footage out there I've never even seen, but. Um, I just tried to name some of the stuff, like some of his greatest opponents, and like I said, where he's been and what I know about him. So I just want to take a little bit of time off to um, talk about Terry Funk before actually we get into the AEW review. So yeah, definitely rest in peace to Terry Funk. We definitely lost a great legend today, man. Forever, forever, forever. But as we move now into the AEW Dynamite review, this is the go home show for All In this Sunday. Um, we were supposed to kick it out with the Elite versus Bullet Club Gold out there, but it ended up just turning to a giant brawl and whatnot. Obviously, I think they got to tape two shows, apparently Collision right after, because we know Collision Saturday, but come on, we're not going to fly to London. So maybe it's what I heard. They got the Elite out there first because CM Punk will probably be on Collision, and maybe it's to keep all these guys separate. But everybody ended up brawling out there. Then Takeshita was out there going with Omega and everything. FTR ended up fighting Bullet Club Gold to the back then. So basically just setting up multiple, setting up all the matches, like I said, with the Bucks and FTR and the Bullet Club Gold going against the Elite. And, that's basically what they did right here. It was just a brawl. And honestly, this is not the first brawl you're gonna see throughout the night. It's gonna be several brawls, and I mean several brawls throughout the entire night for this show, especially for a go home show coming in. So just a brawl. I think it was better than last week than whatever they had the Bucks doing, because I did not care what was going on last week, and you could tell how the crowd did also. But this crowd was a bit different, being in Georgia, I believe it was. But next they had a sit down interview with MJF, basically talking about All In and how he's taking it seriously, and how what he's gonna do, because he said this is the biggest shows, and he's standing on the shoulders of giants, and he named people from Hulk Hogan to Bruno Sammartino, Dusty Rhodes, John Cena, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Triple H, and whatnot, The Rock, and basically he might be a giant himself, and it's a lot of pressure, but he's ready for it, and talked about his friendship with Adam Cole, and we had our rocky moments and stuff, but he feels like he has a genuine friend. MJF said Cole's made him a better person, and now they're like brothers and everything. They're ready to fight. Like anything, yeah, they're gonna fight for those tag team titles, but they will fight each other, and they said they're gonna bring it. And MJF is still the world champion here, so you know, basically, he can't wait to have a match with his best friend right now. So very good sit down interview here. I did enjoy it. So good stuff with MJF. John Moxley went against Ray Phoenix. I will say at least John Moxley didn't bleed this time. That's the main thing out of this match. But it wasn't a bad match. Right after though, the Blackpool Combat Club hit the ring and attacked Phoenix with a crowbar. Eddie Kingston and Pentagon came out, but then next thing you know, Santana and Ortiz returned. Um, got a pretty good, decent reaction. Ortiz got like the thing with like a rock in a sock, a loaded sock and whatnot. I guess the production team damn near missed Pentagon getting hit with the crowbar, which now I believe will be a 5-on-5, and Santana Ortiz are there, since apparently Phoenix may not make it to London, apparently, so maybe now it's a 5-on-5, and they end up taking out Phoenix. Santana and Ortiz being back, I know there have been some stories going on with both of them. Santana been hurt, so I do know that. But with Santana and Ortiz, apparently they haven't been friends for a while. I know the reports going on saying they're not cool. So maybe they cool with each other at this point. I don't know. Or maybe they're just doing this because it's business and Tony Khan wanted them back because they needed another team. Because if it's 5-on-5 right now, then I guess they don't need to find a third person. I guess Santana and Ortiz now with this. I wish they would have returned on a better note than being in this stadium stampede match. That's the same thing I said about Eddie Kingston. I'm glad to see him back, but do I really want to see them in this match? Not really. I really don't. Like, I honestly don't want to see him in the stadium stampede thing. I'm like, I don't really see the reason for it. So, why do they need to be in that match? I don't know. But like I said, I am glad to see both of them back. So maybe they are cool. I don't know. And as they carry Phoenix into the ambulance, Renee Young tried to interview Kingston. Kingston basically said, "It's what your husband did," and even Kingston's like, "Get the fuck out of my face." You can actually hear him say that, like, "That shit away, get the fuck out of my face." Like, I actually thought that was pretty cool, and he just ended up walking off. So he's gonna fix this in Wembley. Um, I know they interviewed Sammy Guevara, if he can trust Chris Jericho and whatnot. Next thing you know, they had a contract signing, and I thought this was the best segment out of the entire night, which really built this match up well. But it ended up being a contract signing with Chris Jericho and Will Ospreay. Callis talked about the offer he made Will Ospreay to face Chris Jericho, and it's going to be in England. And Callis talked about Jericho nearly dying in England a couple years ago, whatnot, and now it's going to happen again, and he's going to be in Ospreay's corner. Ospreay got in the mic, and usually I go to Ospreay's promo sometime when he just says "bruv" a lot. That's his main thing is "bruv, bruv, bruv." But this was a hell of a promo though, and he asked Jericho if this is seriously or is this a vanity project. Okay, he said that this is the biggest venue in the UK. It's going to change his life. He said he has, he's got his wife and his 4-year-old stepson. I already see people online saying, "Why you take care of a kid that's not even yours?" Talked about because before Jericho, he said he's going to be at some other show to raise some money to, put his kid through school. And, this pro wrestling's biggest event. And then, Ospreay went on to say, "I've beaten Kenny Omega, Okada, and it'll be Jericho now within 2 months. He is on a roll right now. His contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling will expire in 6 months, so he could go anywhere where all the money is. He said he's the best wrestler in the world. He's better than the Elite. He's better than Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Chris Jericho. He said he respects Jericho's legacy, but it's going to be rocket fuel for him into the future." But Jericho got on the mic also basically saying, "Congratulations, you've done a lot in the last few months, but, there's some things I haven't accomplished also." And Jericho said about, 5 years ago, a lot of people were predicting you be in a wheelchair, like Dynamite Kid and whatnot. But, I got your number. And listen, I'm still the top person around here, and there's a lot of people that want to knock me off the mountain right now, and you're not going to be one of them. He said, "Yeah, we were supposed to face each other in the Tokyo Dome, but that was due to lockdown. There is no lockdown now." And he said, "This is bigger than WrestleMania. This is bigger than the Tokyo Dome. This isn't a vanity project. I'm still at the top of the game, and you will not stop me." And he basically is going to beat Will Ospreay. And I want you being the best of you because you're going to have all your family out there in the front row and all that. And you want to prove that you can beat Chris Jericho. But listen, you're not going to beat Chris Jericho. You're going to regret, the day I kept you from being in a wheelchair. Ospreay knocked the mic out of his hand. Both of them start trying to brawl each other. Security broke it up. That was one hell of a segment, okay? That was probably the best thing out there. Give me that Chris Jericho every week. That's the Chris Jericho I want to see. Like I said, both of these guys show some fire out there. So I enjoyed this, and the crowd definitely did too. Adam Cole had a sit-down interview next in, basically talking about with MJF and his friendship with him. And I'd have had a couple rocky parts throughout it. And he still wants the AEW World title. And then, going back to the clip with Roderick Strong saying he was just playing along with MJF about being the whole friend thing and stuff. So maybe that will play in the factor later on. But Cole said, he said he was done. And he can understand, why two people can't be friends, and there's not going to be no issues and whatnot, all right? So it's going to go all well at All In. Next, Darby Allin and Nick Wayne went against Swerve and AR Fox. One thing I thought was funny about this match, because they got Nick Wayne's mom out there, right? And the people are actually cheering for AR Fox to beat up this kid. So, Yeah, they're cheering for the heel to beat up, the kid in front of his mom. So, and they went to her like 3 times, but I wasn't really mad at this match until I'm like, "Wait a minute." So, Nick Wayne barely hooked AR Fox and beat him. And even I'm like, "What the hell? Really? Right before All In?" And next thing you know, Swerve's laughing. He says, "Disappointing." He's disappointing Fox. You a loser. You can't even beat an 18-year-old kid. This was all a test. So if you can't beat him here, how can I trust you in front of Wembley? All right. And then he said handle the light work right now. He's selling Prince Nana. And basically right now he's being replaced. So AR Fox is being replaced off this match. And Brian Cage attacks him and hits the drill claw. So I'm thinking he's the replacement, obviously. Next thing you know, Nick Wayne and Darby and Sting come back then, and the heels walk off, and then Darby basically saying, I wouldn't be here without you. And throughout everything, I give you all, all the credit in the world. You trained me and stuff. Just shake his hand. We can move on from this, which is I think this is really weird in a way. So let me get this straight. You're gonna forgive the guy that trained you, who went into your student, telling your student's home and his garage, beat this man to a bloody pulp, leaving him for dead out there like a murder scene, and now you just gonna shake hands and all is forgiven now? And basically says, Darby saying Swerve's dumb, and then, Swerve starts laughing. And then they just got Christian Cage come out then. And Christian Cage, obviously one of the best heels in this entire company right now, which I don't think he really need to be in this match, but he starts talking about Darby and talked about Nick Wayne and talked about how your dad is dead. And yeah, he was a pro wrestler, but I never heard of Buddy Wayne because he really, really a good wrestler. And he says he was a talented hack. And then he's just talking about his dad. People calling him an asshole out there, and it's deja vu, man. About talking about closing the coffin on a second, second person and whatnot. And basically, if Nick plays his cards right, I can mentor you, man. He wants to help every fatherless child out there. They need a true mentor, all right? And he is the TNT champion, and he's a mentor. I am almost surprised he didn't say he wanted to fuck this kid's mom, damn near. Which she don't look that bad, too. I just want to throw that out there also. But I'm almost surprised he didn't say that. So, Christian, great heat, but did he need to be in this match to replace Fox? I was actually wanting to see Fox in this. I was actually glad AR Fox was getting something out of this. I was enjoying him and Swerve out there, even since like when they were in Lucha Underground back then. So I'm like, all right, AR Fox is finally getting a shot. He's getting some recognition out there. The crowd was feeling him, but now they just take him out of this. I don't know why. I don't know why Fox is being taken out of this match. Could he not make London? Like, really, what's going on with this? That Christian is now being replaced with him. And then I'm thinking, like, is this a regular tag match or a 6-man? Because now I'm thinking, like, so what's it going to be? Swerve, Christian Cage, and Brian Cage versus Sting, Darby, and Nick Wayne? Or is it still a regular tag match, but now with Christians involved? So, really confusing stuff there. Very confusing, which even I'm like, this is some weird ass booking. Very weird booking. So yeah, Fox got replaced. And now they put Christian. And then Darby just forgives him that easily. And I don't know why Nick Wayne's forgiving him. He went into your house and beat the living hell out of you and made you bleed and beat your ass in front of your own mom. So just strange stuff out there. And then what? They went to Renee Young to interview FTR and the Bucks. Dude, at this point, I'm just saying FTR. I'm assuming they're gonna go over, even despite Cash's recent arrest. I'm hoping they go over it. Business will actually be done this time. Um, I don't have much to say about this segment. They said they're gonna make it personal, and you guys are doing this for a legacy. Basically the Bucks say, we hang our boots and we want our flowers. We're the best tag team in wrestling. You guys, we made you a name on the YouTube show. Listen, man, I don't have much to say about all this. I probably like when it was FTR and the Briscoe segments better than this. It is what it is. It's not like it's a lot of intensity in this match. I'm just gonna assume FTR is gonna go over. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Um, like I said, they tried to hype this match up, but I feel like there hasn't been a lot of heat to it. Um, right after that, Ruby Ruby Soho went against Sky Blue. Why? I don't know. I don't know what this has to do with the pay-per-view this Sunday. It was in the death spot at 8:30. Ruby won. That's it. Roderick Strong and the Kingdom were interviewed. Basically, they're going to show who the real MJF and real Adam Cole are. The Acclaimed came out then without music, calling out the House of Black. Um, they came out and attacked them. Billy Gunn came out. Billy Gunn made his return. Basically, he got in the ring. He said, you guys have beaten me twice now. And those were two things that was, two big losses. And, he took his boots off and left the ring. And he walked out on his people. And then you hurt his kids, the Acclaimed and stuff. So you tried to destroy my boots too. And he could have walked away as a Hall of Famer and that's it. But no, you made this personal. And no, it's not going to be the fun-loving daddy ass that's coming back at All In. You're going to see badass Billy Gunn. So badass Billy Gunn will be, at All In. Six-man tag, I'm sure, for the six-man tag titles. So, obviously, this has just been building up to Billy Gunn's return. I've been kind of in and out of it. Can I say I've cared that much? Not really, but we all know it's going to be ended up into Billy Gunn's big return, and they got added for the card this Sunday. So there you go. For some reason, the Hardys went against Aussie Open for the Ring of Honor tag titles. I find it very weird that Jeff Hardy last week was in a very horrible advertisement match with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but now he gets a Ring of Honor tag team title shot this week. I have no idea. And of all the teams you just have, and listen, I know Aussie Open needs a win to, you know, to look strong going into the pay-per-view. But why are we sacrificing the Hardys for this? And then again, didn't the Hardys just literally lose like a week or two ago to what? The Young Bucks. So what made me believe they were gonna win here? I'm actually surprised Jeff Hardy was actually pinned. I was actually surprised by that. But why are we sacrificing the Hardys? Why? I'm like, this isn't not even out of the tag team. This is the freaking Hardys here. And they had them lose. And I guess for the pay-per-view, but still. But then also you open down the mic then, talk about MJF and Cole. It's not going to be kangaroo kicks or, double clotheslines and stuff. They're going to retain those titles. Cole and MJF came out and, fought them off then, knocked them out of the ring. And then, they were going to shake hands, but MJF shouldered his way past them. MJF ended up pulling like that diamond ring out and putting on his hand. But then he ended up hugging Cole then as, they played to the crowd, and then the show ended from there. So that basically was the end of it. All right. So yeah, it's not much I can really say about the rest of this. I think this was a better show than last week. I thought last week's show was horrible. Last week, this was better given it was a go home show. And I did the best thing I liked out of this was the Jericho and Osprey segment. That was great. So it had its better parts on here. The AR Fox thing really confuses me and just is literally out of nowhere. It makes no sense. I think that was probably the weirdest booking, and I probably thought that was the worst thing on the show. But I thought it was an overall better show than last week. It had its parts, so better than last week. But other than that, that's all I got to say about Dynamite. Comment, subscribe. We will have a review for All In coming up this Sunday, so watch out. So yeah, other than that, I'm out of here. See y'all then. Peace and rest in peace. Terry Funk. I'm out.